There's that twinkle in the sky again. Yep, now it's time for us to go to the bottom. Right. To the next world. Hey everybody, it's RRPG here, and welcome to another episode of RRPG's Let's Play that covers Kingdom Hearts on the PlayStation 2. In today's episode, we are going to the next Disney World, but the one that we're going to is going to be detoured by something else that we're going to explore first. And I'll show you what that is once we get to it. But anyway, let's get on with this episode that's already in progress. And here we are back in the Star Fox, the Star Fox gameplay mode, or the Star Fox ship mode, or whatever. You know, where we're flying in the gummy ship, you know, that's supposed to resemble the R-Wing. That's supposed to control, like, the R-Wing in a sense. But yeah, that's what's going on. And, pretty much we are gonna... There's the portal that's right over there, and we're going to bypass that. And, we're gonna just keep on moving forward and not go in that portal again. So that way, we can take a look at what else is new, you know, in terms of the Disney worlds that, you know, that we find. And, as you can tell from every time when we try to go see a new Disney World, things are just only going to get a bit more hectic in terms of the layout of the ways that we fly through, you know, in the stages and or whatever. But yes, we're going to go look for another Disney World. I mean, it's been since last week when we visited Agrabah. Now it's time for us to go visit something new. And I wonder what that new Disney World's going to be. Or is it even going to be a world? I wonder that myself. And just for your information, yes, I did pick up Skyward Sword, and I'm going to be playing it very shortly. And after you see this episode, then Tales of the Abyss is going to be debuting on my channel. So yeah, that should be pretty exciting too. I've been looking forward to doing another Tales game after I have completed both Tales of Symphonia and Tales of Fantasia. So yeah, that should be a pretty exciting time to get another Tales Let's Play started, because I do want to do some free advertising of that game. Do that Let's Play as a form of free advertising to inform you all about, you know, Tales of the Abyss coming out on the 3DS, as well as Tales of Graces F coming out on the PS3 next year. So yeah, that should be pretty exciting. And speaking of Tales of Graces F, I wish Namco Bandai would get on the ball with saying when the exact release date's going to be, because they haven't really done a whole lot to hype that game up yet, and they haven't even introduced to us who are going to play the characters and all, you know, from like the Wikipedia pages or whatever. But yeah, it's like they haven't even done any form of like giving out trailers or stuff to hype the game. That's a really bad part, Namco Bandai. You really should know better than that. I mean, if you're going to aim to become one of the top 5 gaming publishers in the world, then you got to do better with that franchise when, you know, hyping it up and all, or delivering previews. But anyway. Oh! What is that? That's right down that way. Looks like a huge giant whale floating in the worlds, or the lanes in between. Yeah, it's huge, Sora. Should be careful. And it's opening its mouth. It looks like a giant whale, of all things. And even Goofy says that it's a giant whale. Wow. But then Jiminy's going to come in and say that it's Monstro. He's a whale of a whale, and vicious besides. So yes, looks like this whale is going to be the next Disney World that we're going to be traveling in. Yeah, I know, right? We're going to go inside a whale that's going to be a Disney World. Yeah, I wonder how that's going to hold up. It should be an interesting experience, regardless. But yes, we're going inside Monstro. Monstro from the Pinocchio movie. Basically, he's the whale that swallowed Pinocchio and Geppetto, but then they try to escape, and where Geppetto thought that, you know, Pinocchio supposedly drowned after they made their escape, but in the end, he became a real boy, and he managed to live on. Alright, what's going on here? Looks like we got a little flashback going on. I think this is some character development between Sora and Riku about them, you know, about their youthful days back in Destiny Islands before they decided they want to explore new worlds. Seems that way. So they're going to go inside this secret place to see what is causing that noise inside. And it was just the wind only making that noise. And poor Sora thought it was a monster. Oh well, I guess kids have their own adventures. They gotta have their own adventure somewhere. But for us adults, we want to explore bigger things. And Riku's inspecting the door, and it won't even open. I wonder what's beyond that door. I think that's something that they haven't even really explained yet in the Kingdom Hearts franchise, is what lies beyond that door in the secret place. I think that may be something that's going to, you know, be a part of Kingdom Hearts 3. I don't know, but it may be. May have something to do, you know, in terms of finishing up the Xehanort trilogy or whatever. Alright, so looks like that's going to be the end of the flashback, as that was just some character development between Sora and Riku. It's a very nice flashback too, so yeah, it's pretty good. But anyway, back to reality. Let's see what's all going on and see where we're at.
Hey, Sora! Are you okay?
What are you guys doing? Where are we anyway? Whoa!
Oh, you know, I think that big old whale Monstro just swallowed us. And for today's weather, expect showers. Oh, heavy showers.
Ow! Who's there? It's me! Oh, it's just Pinocchio! Pinocchio!
Pinocchio? Pinocchio, where are you going? Pinocchio! Come on, everybody, after him, quick!
Pinocchio was in Traverse Town, but now he's inside Monstro? What is going on in here? Well, we better follow him to find out what is up.
What have you got there, Pinocchio?
With this, we can get out of here, Father.
Really? With this big block, you think so?
It's true. So, how did you end up here, Pinocchio?
Oh my, so the whale swallowed all of you too? My goodness!
Yeah, looks like it.
My name is Geppetto. I'm Pinocchio's father. When we got separated, I traveled all over looking for him. Thank goodness we're together again. So, you seem to know Pinocchio quite well. I hope he was a good boy in my absence. Well, we've all had quite a journey, right, Pinocchio? Pinocchio!
Okay, so it looks like Pinocchio wandered off on his own again, and we were first introduced to Geppetto, Pinocchio's father, who is also a toy maker. If you hadn't realized that about the whole story, or the whole fairy tale of Pinocchio, is that Pinocchio's creator, Geppetto, is actually a toy maker. And he created Pinocchio, and one night when Geppetto was sleeping, the blue fairy came out of nowhere and revived Pinocchio to make him look like he was a living being. But anyway, let's go follow Pinocchio right now.
What are you doing? Come on, let's go back.
You know, Geppetto's awfully worried about you.
Pinocchio, stop fooling around. This is no time for games.
But Sora, I thought you liked games. Or are you too cool to play them now that you have the Keyblade?
Riku? What are you doing here?
Just playing with Pinocchio.
You know what I mean. What about Kairi? Did you find her?
Maybe. Catch us, and maybe I'll tell you what I know.
Oh, come on!
So, Riku wants to play tag with us, huh? Or play hide and seek? Well, seems like a bad time to play hide and seek, because look what we got. We got some Heartless around here. And that's a new type of Heartless that we're fighting against. Those are known as Search Ghosts. They are basically a ghost-type Heartless where they will disappear after, you know, they take a hit. And of course, we can see these at Traverse Town if we go to the, if we go inside the hotel. But I think that's when we come back to there later on when we have to fight much more powerful Heartless. But yeah, that was a new enemy that we have come across. And hopefully we might find another enemy to fight. Nope, that's an air soldier. And we want to take care of those guys because they're going to give us trouble even further. And look, there's some shadows too. So yeah, we're inside this huge big whale known as Monstro. And there are Heartless abound. Who would have thought? A whale that evil would have darkness conjuring up inside of him. And the places that we're going inside the whale are the chambers. You should be surprised with the Heartless that the main Heartless that we're going to fight inside of this place. Well, you should be surprised with the first the Heartless that we fight inside this place for the first time. You should be laughing your butt off to know where we're actually going to be fighting against it. Or where we're going to be fighting it at. But I'll keep that a secret once we get to it, but let's just focus on what's going on right now. Now, this place is platform heavy, so you're going to want to be careful. Since we do not have an ability to where we can jump higher just yet, we actually do need to be careful with the platforms that we're on. We want to make sure that we don't go off of them. But, you know, you can still try your best to at least get some, get some grinding done if you can. But, yeah, just be careful you don't fall off the ledges, because if you fall off the ledges, then you're going to have to start over from a different place. Well, not necessarily that, but you're going to have to try to make your way back, the way you came, because there is a part where you do go back to Chamber 1, and then you're going to have to make your way back to how you got, to where you were in the first place. So yeah, it's one of the things that I really don't like about this world, when you start it off, it's just that there's, it's platform heavy, and you just don't have the ability to where you can jump high enough to reach up to the platforms. I mean, there's lots of treasure chests in this place, but we'll come back and we will get the treasure chest as soon as we, before we have to finish up this world, or right after, we catch up with Riku, and then he's going to go off on his own again, and then that's when we'll come back inside these rooms and we will find the treasure chests. And that was a high potion right there for defeating that large body. Oh, and speaking of Pinocchio, I just found out on Andrea saying, the video game website publication that deals with a lot of this inside stuff from, video game, magazines and other websites and famous publications, like the Japanese Famitsu magazine. They announced that there are 2 new worlds, or there was some new stuff that was shown for the for the next title in the Kingdom Hearts franchise, which is Dream Drop Distance on the 3DS. And they showed off that Pinocchio's world is the world in which Pinocchio originated from, is actually going to be one of the new Disney worlds in the game. And there was a little bit more inside information about the Hunchback of Notre Dame world that's going to be in the game. So yeah, lots of new stuff that just came out. Well, a little bit newer stuff that came out from that magazine. So looks like we're getting a little bit more notified about most of the other worlds that are going to appear in the game. But I'm sure that there's going to be a lot more. And seriously though, I still would love to see a world based on, that's based on the Black Cauldron, because like I said, that's a pretty underrated movie, one that was more aimed for teens, and I definitely think that should get a little bit more recognition. And I think Kingdom Hearts would be a great place, would be a great franchise to, show it off and all. To have the movie deserve more recognition, if you know what I'm talking about. It was actually based on Welsh mythology, so it was actually written by this guy, who lives over in Europe, and it expanded into, a book series, but the first movie only covered, I think the first book, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, there was a lot towards the franchise there. So, and it's such a shame too that we didn't even get, just coming out of the property, because I'm pretty sure that people did not really like, you know, stuff being left unfinished. And speaking of which, you know, since the Black Cauldron, since, you know, there are lots of books in it, and I'm pretty sure that the Disney movie didn't finish up on all the material, then I think now is probably the perfect time to get another movie in. You know, since the whole Disney animation thing is still going on, and they brought back that traditional animation style in their movies, like the new Winnie the Pooh movie that came out back in July of this year. So, yeah, I think it would be a good time to get some more Disney animated features going on, and I think the Black Cauldron definitely needs a sequel. Or definitely needs some more movies in order to finish up the storyline, like, you know, Aladdin did. You know, it's with the whole trilogy. Well, of course, with the other movies, they weren't, you know, masterpieces in their own right, but, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And now there's a new Trinity mark right here in the middle. But let's get the treasure chest first, and then we'll come in the middle here, and we'll do this Trinity mark. And let's see, what do we get? Oh, we get some money, and we get an item right there. What is inside that item? Oh, it's a cottage. Okay, very nice. We'll take the cottage. And then let's go ahead and grab the money here, and then we are going to go ahead and head back out. I think there's another spot to where we can hit a blue Trinity mark, but I can't remember where it is exactly. Oh, I know where it is. It's back over at the area of the mouth where, you know, Geppetto and his ship are located. And that was another enemy I forgot to mention too, that were the same as the pot spiders. Those are known as the barrel spiders. If you do a major amount of damage onto them, and if you don't hit them to finish them off, then they will automatically detonate themselves. So yeah, there's some explosive powder inside, so you're gonna have to be careful. There we go. But if you can use the boxes, you know, if you see any boxes that are down below, then you can use those as platforms in order to get back up. Speaking of which, there is a blue Trinity mark that I do miss out on, you know, in this world. But we'll come back to it much, much later when we have to find the rest of the Trinities that we missed out on. So, we're not going to be left out of any Trinity marks in this game. No, sir. Anyway, we should be able to find Riku in here.
Why do you still care about that boy? He has all but deserted you for the Keyblade and his new companions, after all.
I don't care about him. I was just messing with him a little.
Oh, really? Of course you were. Beware the darkness in your heart. The heartless prey upon it.
Mind your own business.
Riku! What's the matter with you? What are you thinking? Don't you realize what you're doing?
I was about to ask you the same thing, Sora. You only seem interested in running around and showing off that Keyblade these days. Do you even want to save Kairi?
I do.
Now we heard Pinocchio screaming, and now we need to go see what has happened to him. And there's a save spot, and we'll save our progress here. But we're not going to fight the boss right away. I think this is probably a good spot to where we can go ahead and we can wrap up this episode. So anyway, gamers, next time on Double RPG's Let's Play with Kingdom Hearts on the PlayStation 2, we're going to resume where we left off, and we are going to save Pinocchio, and then head back down to where, you know, the mouth is, and then we should be able to try to go find him again, and Riku, since, you know, Riku's going to end up taking him. If those of you who realize, you know, how the story of Kingdom Hearts goes. But anyway, if you have not done so already, be sure to follow me on Facebook and Twitter with the links in the description. And if you like what you saw, then be sure to rate this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave comments below to let me know what you guys thought of the episode. Anyway, gamers, take care of yourselves, and I shall see you next time. And if you'll excuse me, I have some Skyward Sword to play, so I'll give you my full 2 cents on that in the next episode. But anyway, guys, I'll catch you later. Bye.